RadioCare is a quirky old-school radio show playing music from the 70s to present day. RadioCare wants to connect with you through music.
Hello and welcome to RadioCare. I'm Mike Coward and I'm going to be with you for the next hour or so. Hope you missed me last week. I took a week off because I thought I'd just have a quick break, but it's lovely to be back and I feel all refreshed and ready to play some great tunes tonight. So I'm starting a little bit different this week. I normally sort of play the songs like from the early 70s and then sort of work my way through the decades, but I've chosen the later part of the 70s to start off with. Looking at sort of some of the sort of new wave punky type stuff. There's a few of them songs in there and then it moves on into the 80s and then does come up to present day. So to get us started, we've got one from Blondie from 1979. It's probably my favourite one and it's Dreamin'. And that was Blondie from 1979, featured on their fourth album, Eat the Beat, and was inspired by ABBA's Dancing Queen. The drumming on that always impressed me from Clem Burke, and it actually probably was one of the most successful singles for them, not necessarily in the UK, but it did better over here, peaking at number 2. Yeah, great song. So the next song I'm going to be playing is one that you probably don't hear that often on the radio. This one is one by Jonah Louie, and it's You'll Always Find Them in a Kitchen at the Party.
I'm no good at chatting up and always get rebuffed. Enough to drive a man to drink, I don't do no washing up. I always leave the stuff piled up in the sink.
But you will always find him in the kitchen at parties.
Me and my girlfriend, we argued and she ran away from home. She must have found somebody new and now I'm all alone, living on my own. What am I supposed to do?
That's why you'll always find him in the kitchen at parties. You will always find him in the kitchen at parties. You will always find him in the kitchen at parties.
Then I met this debutante, I said I like you, a bra. She was into French cuisine, but ain't no cordon bleu. This was at some do in Palmer's Green. I had no luck with her.
You will still find him in the kitchen at parties. You will still find him in the kitchen at parties.
At last I met a pretty girl, she laughed and talked with me. We both walked out of the kitchen and danced in a new way. And now I've done my time in the kitchen at parties. I've done my time in the kitchen at parties.
He's done his time in the kitchen at parties. He's done his time in the kitchen at parties. He's done his time in the kitchen at parties. He's done his time in the kitchen at
And that was Jonah Louie. You'll always find him in a kitchen at the parties. Released in 1980, I believe it was May 1980. Reached number 16 in the UK charts, and for 11 weeks it was in the charts over here. But it experienced the most success in New Zealand, where it reached number 3 in their charts for 2 weeks and remained in their top 40 for 17 weeks. So this next one is a favourite of mine from one of the bands that came out of the punk era and then sort of went into the new wave era. This is the Buzzcocks, and this one is Ever Fallen in Love with Someone.
I run the risk of losing you, and that's worse.
And that was the Buzzcocks from 1978. Reached number 12 in the UK singles charts, and it was on their album Love Bites. So this next one is One by the Vapors. It's probably the most famous one by the Vapors, and seeing as we've got the Olympics coming up soon, this one is Turning Japanese.
Nothing else to do. Oh, it's in colour. Your hair is brown. Your eyes are hazel and soft as clouds. I often kiss you when there's no one else around. I got your picture. I got your picture. I'd like a million of you all around myself. To take a picture so I can look at you from inside as well. You got me turning up and turning down, I'm turning in, I'm turning right, I'm turning Japanese. I think I'm turning Japanese, I really think so. Turning Japanese, I think I'm turning Japanese, I really think so. Turning Japanese, I think I'm turning Japanese, I really think so. Turning Japanese, I think I'm turning Japanese, I really think so. I'd like a million of them around myself. I want the doctor to take a picture so I can look at you from inside as well. You got me turning up and turning down, I'm turning in, I'm turning right, I'm turning Japanese. I think I'm turning Japanese, I really think so. Turning Japanese, I think I'm turning Japanese, I really think so. Turning Japanese, I think I'm turning Japanese, I really think so. Turning Japanese, I think I'm turning Japanese, I really think so. No sex, no drugs, no wine, no women, no fun, no sin, no you, no wonder it's dark. Everyone around me is a total stranger. Everyone avoids me like a cyclone ranger. Everyone. That's why I'm turning Japanese, I think I'm turning Japanese, I really think so. Turning Japanese, I think I'm turning Japanese, I really think so. Turning Japanese, I think I'm turning Japanese, I really think so. Turning Japanese, I think I'm turning Japanese, I really think so.
And that was the Vapors, Turning Japanese, from 1980. It was from that album Nuclear Days. It was an international hit, and it's the most well-known song which they actually had. It actually became a number one hit in Australia, got to number 3 in the UK, and was surprisingly, but it was a minor hit in Japan. They actually liked it. So, welcome to everyone who's listening tonight. I'm doing a live show tonight and I'm recording. I'm Mike Howard, you're listening to RadioCare. I broadcast from Coventry, and I just play music that I enjoy playing from the 70s right up to present day, and I do a couple of special shows as well where I'll concentrate on a particular theme. So welcome wherever you're listening in the world. In the UK, I know I've got friends and family in New Zealand and friends in Australia, America, and you know, all over the world. So thank you for listening. If you've you are tuning in tonight, and if not, I hope you enjoy it as a podcast. So this next one is one by XTC, and it's Making Plans for Nigel. We all know a Nigel. And that was XTC, We're Only Making Plans for Nigel. and that was from 1979. It was from their album Drums and Wires, and it spent 11 weeks on chart in the UK singles charts and got to number 17. It was a response to the song British Steel Gathered for Sheffield employees named Nigel to talk about job satisfaction for the trade. About something you didn't know, but you do know now, and you'll remember that for the rest of your life, Nigel. Right, this next one is one by the Rich Kids. You probably don't know much about the Rich Kids, or no, maybe it's a bit unfair, really, because there's a lot of music enthusiasts out there. The Rich Kids actually formed from Glenn Matlock, who used to be in Sex Pistols. There was Rusty Egan, who went on to be in Visage and was also the DJ at the Blitz Club, the New Romantic Club sort of in London. There's Steve New on lead guitar, and there's Mick Jones, and also Madure, who went on to be in Ultravox. See what you think.
I'll tell you something I think that you should know. There ain't much that I care for. But even so, the guys around me, they stop me. They make things very clear. So while those who stand in line, I have no fear. I'm talking about rich kids. The guys too much for you. They got so much feeling. There's something special to do. Because they're rich kids, so you had better beware. The thing with rich kids, you see, is they're all there. So when you say you're a rich kid, and I ain't kidding you, oh, it's too much. It's double rich, so true. It stands to reason you don't make it. You just got no idea. I know you lied and tried and lied, but realize it comes from here, from the heart. I'm talking about rich kids. A guy's too much for you. They got so much feeling. There's something special to do. And because they're rich kids, then you had better beware. The thing about rich kids, they're all there. We're rich kids. We're rich kids.
No need to feel lonely. Tune in to RadioCare via podcast weekly. RadioCare is hosted by Mike Howard, broadcasting from Coventry to the world.
To the world and beyond. I say it every week. So that was a Rich Kids, and yeah, interesting song. Got a bit of a mod feel to it. I felt. I know that Glenn Matlock was sort of very sort of influenced by the sort of mod music of the 60s and sort of carried it on. So this next band, they were a punk band in the 70s. They didn't start off as a punk band. They started off sort of when there was a lot of the glam rock type bands sort of around. But they're a band called the Crabs, and I've got a connection sort of like with the band. The last band that I was in was the Geezers. They're a band from Great Yarmouth, and former members of that, were in the Crabs and also sort of joined Splodgenous Abounds. So this song is one that we used to play in the Geezers, but this one is the Crabs, and it features Gary Holton on it, who many of you probably know sort of from being in I'll Be the Same Pet and Heavy Metal Kids. Okay, so this one is called We're All Crazy.
What you thinking when you look at me?
And that was We're All Crazy by the Crabs, featuring Gary Holton. So the Crabs formed in Great Yarmouth in East Anglia in 1974. Well, actually, they formed in 74 and were known as Cosmic Love and then Teaser, and then they became the Crabs. Vocalist and guitarist was Tony Diggins, and guitarist Ronnie Rocker, drummer Ricky Tickham, and bassist William Kimberlin, who I'm still see on Facebook and was in the Geezers with several years, and they're still going strong in Great Yarmouth. They did support the likes of X-Ray Specs, The Lurkers, Sham 69, Jam, Susie and the Banshees, and many, many other bands, and played at places like the Roxy and the Vortex. They were also known as the Fulham Furies, and after a while, the Crab members became backing band for Gary Holton and played with Max Splodge, so that was part of Splodgenous Abounds. And then during the 80s, Ronnie Rocker played with the Angelic Upstarts and the Godfather. So there you have it, a brief history of the Crabs. It's probably a bit more than I would say about any other band, but because I've got some connection and love of them, I just thought I'd give a bit more of a rundown for them. So sticking with the punky type feel, this one is one that my mate had played, I think, at his wedding or someone's wedding, and this one was Jilted John.
I've been going out with a girl, her name is Julie, but last night Julie, and they were both laughing at me. Oh, she is cruel and heartless to pack me for Gordon, just 'cause he's better looking than me, just 'cause he's cool and trendy. But I know he's a moron. Gordon is a moron. Gordon is a moron. Gordon is a moron. Here we go, 2, 3, 4. Oh, she's a slag and he's a creep. She's a tart, he's very cheap. She is a slut, he thinks he's tough. She is a bitch, he is a puff. Yeah, yeah, it's not fair. Yeah, yeah, it's not fair. I'm so upset. I'm so upset. I'm so upset. Yeah, yeah. I ought to smash his face in. Yeah, but he's bigger than me, isn't he? I know. I'll get the mate Barry to hit him. He's flattening him. Yeah, but Barry's a mate of Gordon's, isn't he? Oh well, I don't care. I don't care. 'Cause he's a slag and he's a creep. She's a tart, he's very cute. She's a slag.
And that was Jilted John by Jilted John. First played on John Peel's Radio 1 show, and he actually sort of promoted it, helped promote it really. When they made their appearance on Top of the Pops, they were introduced by Kid Jensen, who was a DJ at the time, as the most bizarre single of the decade. But it did reach number 4 in the UK singles charts. And you may know that Jilted John is Graham Fellows, also known as John Shuttleworth, and we all love John Shuttleworth. Well, I do. I think he's great. So I've sort of ended with the sort of punky type stuff, and I'm sort of moving now into the 80s, or late 79 maybe, sort of 1980s, with one from the Specials, and this one is Message to You, Rudy. That's probably one of my favourite songs by the Specials. Message to You, Rudy. From Coventry Band, I have to say, Coventry Band, the Specials. They're probably one of the most famous sort of acts to come out of Coventry. We've got a few actually, though. We have got a few. Hazel O'Connor, The Primitives, The Enemy. I'm trying to think of a few more. Selector, you know, so there's a few that have sort of come out of Coventry, but they're probably one of the most famous ones. So moving just up the road from Coventry to Birmingham, we have The Beat, and this one is Tears of a Clown. And that was Tears of a Clown by Birmingham ska band The Beats. And that reached number 6 in the UK singles charts in 1979. And it wasn't included on the original UK release of The Beats' debut album. But I just can't stop loving... I can't stop it, or something like that. Yeah, I just can't stop it. Read it right, Mike. But it was included on the US release. Okay, I've got it straight. I've got my glasses on now. I can read it. So we're moving down south, down to London, up to Camden Town, nearly to Kentish Town, next door. And we're going to have a bit of madness. This one is Baggy Trousers.
Naughty boys in nasty schools, headmasters breaking all the rules, having fun and playing fools, smashing up the woodwork tools. All the teachers in the pub, passing round a ready rub, trying not to think of when the lunchtime bell will ring again. Oh, what fun we had, but did it really turn out bad? All I learnt at school was how to bend, not break the rule. Oh, what fun we had, but at the time it seemed so bad, trying different ways to make a difference too. The headmasters had enough today. All the kids have gone away, gone to fight with next to school. Every term that is the rule. Sits alone and bends his cane. Same old backsides again. All
the end with a plastic cup. Oh, what fun we had, but did it really turn out bad? All I learned at school was how to bend not break the rule. Oh, what fun we had, but at that time it seemed so bad. Trying different ways to make the difference through the days.
Join Mike Howard at RadioCare as you travel in time from the 70s to present day. Over an hour of top tunes and great banter.
And that was Madness Baggy Trousers from 1980. It was actually released in September 1980, spent 20 weeks in the UK singles charts and reached number 3. Now, I was convinced that got to number 1. How wrong was I? It was actually the 28th best-selling single of 1980 in the UK. I've seen Madness a couple of times and they're a great band to see live, absolutely fantastic. I'd go and see them sort of any time really, so if you've never had a chance to see them, they're a fun band to see. A bit like the Pogues, seen the Pogues a couple of times in concert back in the 80s and they were probably one of the best live bands that I've seen. So this next one is one of the sort of ones from the Jam, probably sort of not long before they split up. This one is a bitterest pill I ever had to swallow. It's one of my favourites actually. I've got a few favourites, but this one is one that I like sort of towards the end. Reached number 2 in the UK singles charts. It was kept off from the number 1 spot because of Eye of a Tiger by Survivor, and then Pass the Dutchie by Musical Youth. So here we go. This one is The Bitterest Pill.
And your wedding bells, you lit the picture of contented new will. But from the onlooking fool who believed your lies, I wish this grave would open up and swallow me alive. The bitterest pill is hard to swallow. But if I can, as he said, covered market shadows. Fortune broke, it fell to me. I took her skies to change my misery. The vacant spot, you're beating hard to get place. Now watch Mowgli, my lips and fill it to you. Well, the bitterest pill is hard to swallow. But if I can, as he said, call the mocking shadows. The bitterest pill is mine to take. If it took me 400 years, I couldn't feel anymore. The bitterest pill is mine to take. If it took me 400 years, I couldn't feel summer's leaves through my life, twisted and broken down the days with sunlight. The dying spark, you left your mark on me. The promise of your kiss, but with someone else.
What a great song that was. That was A Bitter as Pill by The Jam, probably sort of one of their last songs. It featured backing vocals from Jenny Mathias, I think that's how you say her name. And this actually leads us nicely into the next song, because Jenny Mathias joined members of the Body Snatchers, who were a ska band around the time sort of the ska revival, two-tone revival, sort of became big in 1979. And the members of the Body Snatchers decided to form another band, and they recruited Jenny Mathias and Leslie Shon, I think her name was, to sort of join them. And this one is Sign of the Times.
As I lie here, thinking of you,
And it's the Bell Stars.
I realise that nothing is new.
Lying in my bed, thinking of you, I realize nothing is new. You say you love me, but want success. I say you're lying, nothing has changed. This is a sign of the times, peace of more to come. This is a sign of the times, time to be alone. This is a sign of the times, peace of more to come. This is a sign of the times, time to be alone. We're strong in bed, you're weak in love. You give me nothing more than a shove. I walk alone now, thinking of you. I realize now, nothing is new. This is a sign of the times, peace of more to come. This is a sign of the times, time to be alone. This is a sign of the times, peace of more to come. This is a sign of the times, time to be alone.
Why do we go on with this useless love affair when it seems to me that you don't really care? I realise now nothing is new. Time to live my life without you, without you, without you.
I sit alone now, wondering about you. I'm living my life. What do? You say you want me, but need success. I want your love, boy, want nothing less. This is a sign of the times, peace of more to come. This is a sign of the times, time to be alone. This is a sign of the times, peace of more to come. This is a sign of the times, time to be alone. This is a sign of the times, peace of more to come. This is a sign of the times, time to be alone. This is a sign of the times, peace of more to come. This is a sign of the times, time to be alone. This is a sign of the times, peace of more to come. This is a sign of the times, time to be alone. This is a sign of the times.
And that was the Bell Stars, Sign of the Times from 1983. Got to number 3 in the UK singles charts, and it peaked at number 75 in the US Hot 100 later in 1983. So this next song is from another girl band. This is from Bananarama, and this one, we've had such a lovely day today, haven't we? The sun has been shining. And it's the first proper sort of really hot day we've had this year. So I'm going to call it a cruel summer.
Out on the streets and the pavements are burning. I sit around, trying to smile, but the
And that was Bananarama, Cruel Summer from 1983. Well, it was released in 1983, initially as a standalone single, but went on to be included on the self-titled album later that year. Reached number 8 in the UK singles charts in 1983, and after its inclusion in the 1984 film The Karate Kid, it reached number 9 in the US Billboard Hot 100. Great song. So it's still pretty warm tonight. We've got to about the 30s today, which is pretty hot in the UK, and particularly sort of in Coventry. But I've just checked it now. It's at 25, so it's still quite a warm night. And I just want to give a shout out to some friends over in Rugby, Louise and Rodney, that are sitting in the garden and listening to the radio show. So I hope you're enjoying the music and enjoying your evening. Have a great weekend. So this next one is one from The Cure, and you're all probably going to go, oh no, it's really miserable, isn't it? This isn't a miserable one. This is one which they actually hate doing live. I went to see them live in 1987. And all the audience was shouting, do the Love Cats. And I just didn't want to do it. So I'm going to play it. This one is the Love Cats. That was The Cure, The Love Cats from 1983. It was the band's first top 10 hit in the UK singles charts. It peaked at number 7, but it also reached number 6 in the Australian charts in the early 84. It's one of them songs that they didn't like doing sort of live. They found it too commercial for them. I've got a lot of sort of respect for the band. I like what they do. They're not everyone's cup of tea. But I went through a phase of really sort of liking The Cure and the Cult and bands like that. So last week we had the European sort of Cup games, and England got to the final, and sadly we lost to Italy. And I had this all lined up ready to sort of play. And I know it's probably a bit late sort of playing it now because it's all died down, sort of like the England frenzy and everything. But next year, hopefully, we're going to do it in Qatar. So this one is Three Lions.
Crosses of St George are flying all around me. Gareth Southgate, the whole of England is with you. Oh, it's saved! Saved! We still believe. We still believe. We still believe. We still believe. It's coming home. It's coming home. It's coming. Football's coming home. It's coming home. It's coming home. It's coming. Football's coming home. Tears for heroes dressed in grey. No plans for final day. Stay in bed. Drift away. It could have been all songs in the street. It was nearly complete. It was nearly so sweet. And now I'm singing 3 lines on a shirt. Jules Rimet still gleaming. No more years of hurt. No more need for dreaming.
Talk about football coming home. And then one night in Rome, we were strong, we had grown. And now I see it's ready for war. As good as before, Shearer certain to score. And Psycho screaming 3 lines on a shirt. Jules Rimet still gleaming. No more years of hurt. No more need for dreaming. Beautiful football by England. Gaza! Oh, that is majestic! Alan Shearer! Italy 0, England 0, and we're there in France 1986.
How could we ever get sick of that song? I actually like it, and I think it is our anthem, isn't it? And it's always going to be our anthem. I think next week, though, I will play Sweet Caroline by Neil Diamond. I did download the album ready to play it. So because it's been such a beautiful day here in the UK, with temperatures exceeding our wildest dreams, because we've been in such misery with rain and not being able to go out and do anything, this one is one by U2, and this one is Beautiful Day.
Heart is a balloon, shoots up through the stony ground. There's no room, no space to rent in this town. You're out of luck, and the reason that you had to care, the traffic is stuck, and you're not moving anywhere. You thought you found a friend to take you out of this place, someone you could lend a hand in return for grace. It's a beautiful day. Sky falls, you feel like it's a beautiful day. Don't let it get away on the road. You've got no destination, you're in the mud, in the maze of her imagination. Your love this town, even if that doesn't ring true. You've been all over, and it's been all over you. It's a beautiful day. Don't let it get away. It's a beautiful day. Touch me, take me to that other place. Teach me, I know I'm not a hopeless case. See the world in green and blue. See China right in front of you. See the canyons broken by cloud. See the tuna fleets clearing the sea out. See the bedroom fires at night. See the oil fields at first light. And see the bird with a leaf in her mouth. After the flood, all the colors came out. It was a beautiful day. Don't let it get away. Beautiful day. Touch me, take me to that other place. Release me. I know I'm not a hopeless case. What you don't have, you don't need it now. What you don't know, you can feel it somehow. What you don't have, you don't need it now. Don't need it now. Was a beautiful day.
No need to feel lonely. Tune in to RadioCare via podcast weekly. RadioCare is hosted by Mike Howard, broadcasting from Coventry to the world.
And that was U2's Beautiful Day. That was actually the band's 14th number one single in a native island, 4th number one single in the UK, and their first for the Netherlands. I feel like I'm doing a bit of a sort of round the world tour at the moment. It topped the charts in Australia, Canada, Finland, Italy, Norway, Portugal, Scotland, Spain, and reached the top 10 in Austria, Belgium, Germany, New Zealand, Sweden and Switzerland. Blimey, they wanted to get all that in, didn't they? The song peaked at number 21 on the US Billboard Hot 100, and it was from the album Discotheque in 1997. So there you have it. So I'm going to sort of prove that I'm not such a granddad and I can sort of move on with music. So this one is a fairly sort of recent one. It's one by Anna-Marie and Niall Horan. And this one is Our Song.
I'll be honest, I'm alright with me. Sunday mornings, in my own bed sheets, I'll be waking up alone. I haven't thought of her for days. I'll be honest, it's better off this way. But every time I think that I can get you out my head, you never ever let me forget. 'Cause just when I think you're gone, hear a song on the radio. Just like that takes me back to the places we used to go. And I've been trying but I just can't fight it. When I hear it I just can't stop smiling. I remember you're gone, baby, it's just a song on the radio that we used to know. I'll be honest, I'm alright with me. Sunday mornings, in my own white tee, I've been waking up alone. I haven't thought of him for days. I'll be honest, it's better off this way. Every time I think that I can get you out my head, you never ever let me forget. 'Cause just when I think you're gone, hear a song on the radio. Just like that takes me back to the places we used to go. And I've been trying but I just can't fight it. When I hear it I just can't stop smiling. I remember you're gone, baby, it's just a song on the radio that we used to know. Just when I think you're gone, hear a song on the radio. Just like that takes me back to the places we used to go. And I've been trying but I just can't fight it. When I hear it I just can't stop smiling. I remember you're gone, baby, it's just a song on the radio. And I've been trying but I just can't fight it. When I hear it I just can't stop smiling. I remember you're gone, baby, it's just a song on the radio that we used to know.
And that was Our Song by Anna-Marie and Niall Horan. It was released in May 2021. And it was, let's have a look, it reached number 13, or so far peaked at number 13 in the UK singles charts. Yeah, it's a really nice song. I quite like that one. So we are getting very near the end of the show tonight. I've got about 3 more songs left to play. So this next one is one by The Weeknd, and it has features Ariana Grande. Is that right? Yeah, I think so. And this one is Save Your Tears.
I saw you dancing in a crowded room. You look so happy when I'm not with you. But then you saw me, caught you by surprise. A single teardrop falling from your eye. I don't know why
my distance, 'cause I know that you don't like when I'm with nobody else. I couldn't help it, I put you through hell. I don't know why I run away. Oh boy, I make you cry when I run away. But take me back, 'cause I wanna stay. Save your tears for another. I realize that it's much too late, and you deserve someone better. Save your tears for another day. Save your tears for another day. I don't know why I run away. I'll make you cry when I run away. Save your tears for another day. I said save your tears for another day. Save your tears for another day.
And that was Save Your Tears by The Weeknd. It reached number 46 on the Canadian Hot 100, which is their native country, I believe. I'm sure they're from Canada. But it did actually reach, let's have a look, number 2 in the UK singles charts, and it peaked at number 3 in the Australian singles charts. So this one's next one is a newish one, or new one by Ed Sheeran. This one's called Bad Habits. I've heard it a lot recently, and I really like it. So hope you like it too.
Every time you come around, you know I can't say no. Every time the sun goes down, I let you take control. I can feel the paradise before my world implodes. And tonight had something wonderful. My bad habits lead to late nights, sitting alone, conversations with a stranger I barely know, swearing this will be the last, but it probably won't. I got nothing left to lose or use, or do. My bad habits lead to white eyes staring into space, and I know I lose control of the things that I say. Yeah, I was looking for a way out, now I can't escape. Nothing happens after 2. It's true, it's true. My bad habits lead to you. My bad habits lead to you. My bad habits lead to you. Every pure intention ends when the good times start. Falling over everything to reach the first time spark. It started under neon lights and then it all got dark. I only know how to go too far. My bad habits lead to late nights, sitting
sending alone. Conversations with a stranger I barely know. Swearing this will be the last, but it probably won't. I got nothing left to lose or use, or do my bad habits lead to white eyes staring into space? And I know I lose control of the things that I say. Yeah, I was looking for a way out, now I can't escape. Nothing happens after two. It's true, my bad habits lead to you. My bad habits lead to you. My bad habits lead to you.
And that was a relative new one by Ed Sheeran called Bad Habits. Reached number 1 in the UK singles charts, and it debuted at number 5 in the US Billboard Hot 100. It looks like there's several different charts sort of in the US, so it gets quite sort of confusing when I look at all of the sort of different stats for them. But I think it's a great song, I really do. So sadly we've reached the end of the show tonight, and I always have a song that I sort of play when I'm sort of playing out tonight. I just want to thank you all for listening. I've just been looking at the numbers just to see how many listeners there are tonight, and I'm really sort of honoured and humbled really, because I've got 4,481 people listening to me at the moment. So thank you ever so much for listening to the show. I hope you enjoy it. I don't do the show for money. I don't do it for any other reason apart from I enjoy music and I want to share that with people and make people happy. That's why I do it. And it's the same with the podcast. When it goes out on podcasts, people can listen to it whenever they like. So all that's left to say is thank you for listening, and have a good evening and great weekend, whatever else you're doing. Enjoy the sunshine. We've got sunshine for days. So this last one, I'm introducing a bit of culture. And this one is, I hope I say her name right, this one is by Laura Pausini, and it's called Losine. And I believe this song is, this particular version is in English and Italian. I think it's a beautiful song, and it's a nice way to play out the show. So take care, stay safe, and enjoy the weather.
Quando tu finisci le parole, sto qui, forse a te ne servono due sole, sto qui, quando impari a sopravvivere e accetti l'impossibile, nessuno ci crede, io sì. 'Cause I see you, and I see too who you are. You can hide from me. I want you to know that you're seen. Quando tu non sai più dove andare, sto qui, scappi via o alzi le barriere, sto qui, quando essere invisibile è peggio che non vivere, nessuno ti vede, io sì. 'Cause I see you, and I see too who you are. you to know that you're seen. Chi si ama lo sa, serve incanto e realtà. A volte basta quello che c'è, la vita davanti a sé. Non lo so io che destino è il tuo, ma se vuoi, se mi vuoi, sono qui. Nessuno ti vede, io sì. I want you to know that you're seen.
RadioCare is a quirky old-school radio show playing music from the 70s to present day. RadioCare wants to connect with you through music.